Welcome to the Jeremiah Show. My special guest today, via New York City, high above Central Park, is soprano Golda Zahra. Golda kicks off a dynamic concert series with 4 performances throughout Los Angeles this summer. Hi, Golda. Welcome back. It's so nice to see you again.
Hey, Jeremiah, I'm so happy to be back. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's whenever I get a chance to catch up with you, and even if it takes a year,
It
take
did.
it. I'll take it. I can't believe it's been a year. In some ways, it feels like it was shorter.
It
In some
strangely
ways, it feels like
does.
it was really long. It's been a long time. I don't know. It's like we're in this weird time warp, but here,
Yeah.
that's all that matters is you're here. So, like I said, I think it was under a year ago today. I was trying to find the dates off,
Yeah, I
but
think it was like June something, like June, I think it was like June 12th or June 11th or something. It was like mid-June.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
the podcast timestamp said July 4th, and I said, I don't think we talked on July 4th. So it
Oh,
must have been maybe a few weeks before that. But either way, you were here then to discuss your homecoming from Italy, your homecoming back to
yeah.
Los Angeles. It was a concert at the BroadStage in Santa Monica, and I attended that event, and you were spectacular.
Thank you so much.
I don't
Thank you.
even, that's how
Thank you.
spectacular you were. I've never used the word spectacular
That
to
means a
describe
lot. Wow.
to describe anything. And your concert was spectacular.
Thank
You
you.
received at the end, I don't know, I was counting minutes, but
Bouquets.
a long standing ovation.
Oh, I was thinking about the bouquets. Yeah, a long
Yeah,
standing ovation and a
bouquets,
lot of bouquets.
a lot of bouquets or flowers everywhere. And so afterwards, I waited around for an opportunity to meet you in person and congratulate you. But
I
apparently,
know.
everybody at the concert had the same exact idea. So I couldn't even get anywhere near you.
I know. My parents told me you were here, and I was like, dang, I want to meet him in person. And I was changing, and like it took a long time. And then everyone, when you're doing a show, you kind of want to talk to everyone, and you're kind of not like you don't want to like push anyone away. You just like take photos and smile and kind of chit chat. So it's really difficult. But I mean, I guess if I need to drive up to Santa Barbara to see you in person. I
Yeah,
need I need to do the drive.
Super Rica, we've got a date for that one. We
Super
got a
Rica
date to
stop.
stand in line
Oh, I
and
love
get
the
some good
pork
tacos.
tacos. Oh my
Yeah, look,
God.
I'm gonna make you hungry now. So I've been
Yeah.
waiting since then, Golda. I've been waiting since that night to ask you this. How
Oh,
was the homecoming for you? Like, how were you feeling after that performance? Because you really, literally almost blew the roof off. And did it take you a few days to come back down to earth after that?
I was so like humbled by how warm my reception was and how warm you guys as an audience were. It was so beautiful and so wonderful for me because I mean, especially like I said what we talked about last time, I was studying in Italy for like 7 slash 8 years. So I basically been like a decade overseas in Europe, and I was kind of like a hermit. No one really knew of my existence. No one really knew where I was. And so seeing my community being so warm and enthusiastic and so loud, it meant so much to me. So yeah, I definitely had to take like I had a 48 well, not 48 hours, and night after we had a little get together with the conductor and some family friends, and actually some of my family. I have family in Canada, so some of my family from Canada came all the way to see me, and so we just had a cute little dinner at a nice Italian restaurant that I like. So it was really nice, but I really loved it, and I feel like I want to give so much more than I did last time. So I feel like this year when I sing it on July 12th, when I do this similar type of concert, I'm gonna give so much more because you guys have given so much to me. So just a lot of appreciation.
Mm. And so after the show, you went to dinner, or was that the next day?
It was the next night because after the
Next
show I
night.
was exhausted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
A
you
lot of
gave it
energy.
all.
Yeah, I think I lost like 2 pounds from that. I put so much energy into it. So I was kind of like, I was like pooped out. I was like, yeah, we're gonna go to dinner after the next night, not after.
Could you sleep after that performance? Are you like able to, you were exhausted, so, but are you able to like just let your mind go and just, I guess it's a big relief, right? It's
It is
been
a big
building and
relief.
building.
It is because you have so many expectations, and then there was a lot of like I felt like was very important because in me in my past in LA, I did a lot of shows in LA, and I did a lot of them, especially with the Dream Orchestra, and so there was a lot of people from those, my high school days when I was in LA that came to see me, and they had kind of like the image of me like as a teenager,
Hmm.
and now I'm an adult, and I think that's kind of like for a lot of musicians and singers and artists that they start young, it's always difficult to make yourself look like a more um I don't want to say like a real deal artist, but like show that you're like an adult, like that
Yeah.
you could be like an adult and a professional, artist than a child artist. So it was a lot of like it was a lot of weight on my shoulders. I gave to myself, I felt, because I wanted to prove my worth as a decent adult singer and not just like a child show, or a child star. So that
Did
was
it help with the transition that you were trying to achieve to that adult artist?
yeah,
Did it help being away for a while and having that time
it
to
did.
mature and to practice your craft in Italy and then return as an adult?
Yeah, I think it did because I think that it gave me a lot of time to like you said, focus on my craft and to refine myself so that when I came back, I looked credible. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? And I'm really grateful for the time I had working with the teachers that I worked in Italy to have been able to mold me into the singer I am today, so that I could hopefully wow my audience also in America. That really meant
Which
a lot to me.
you did. Really, the roof was blown off of that. It seemed like that everybody in LA was there or trying to get in to see you that night. The place was
I never saw that
packed.
theater that packed.
That
I was really shocked. I was like, they came for me. I felt so honored. And it was so much fun. And you guys had such good energy. Like the musicians, even the orchestra, we were so pumped up.
it
It
was a
was so
magical
good.
night.
Yeah.
Do you remember the temperature and the sunset that night? Like, I mean, I drove down from Santa Barbara, so along the coast, and there's this beautiful pink and
Mm.
blue kind of cotton candy sky, and the temperature was perfect, and people were
It was
milling
a
up.
really nice day.
They were outside, waiting to go in, and everybody's excited and the buzz. It was just sort of a all the way around a magical night, and you honored all of us, the audience members and your fans, with such an incredible show.
Thank
I
you.
know that it's been almost a year. You've been
Yeah.
working really hard on so many exciting fronts and so many exciting things. Can you tell me about some of them? What's happened starting like the day after your
The,
concert that night? Do you
the
remember?
day after, well, the
Aside from a
minute
great dinner.
aside from a great dinner, well, I mean, the night of the concert, I didn't sleep right away because my makeup was so nice. And so I obviously had to take some photos to remember how good I was shocked by it that I looked that good with the makeup. I was like, I need to take photos of this. But I actually went back to Italy and I had to work right away because in August I had to sing in Turandot, which I'm doing this year as well, but it was an abbreviated version and I didn't sing the whole role that I am going to sing this time. Like this time I'm doing like the whole role. And that time I was able to do only like two arias. So I went back to Italy and I worked on Turandot, and then I was relaxing, I was happy. I had maybe a couple too many Aperol spritz, um, just enjoying Italian lifestyle. And then I came back 10 days days early. I came 10 exactly 10 days before the show because even last year the Turandot was on August 16th. This show is going to be on August 16th as well this year at the Walt Disney Concert Hall. And I just worked and sang, and I was able to go. I went back to Italy after that, and I'm actually in America since January right now, like stable. So I was just practicing, working on new repertoire, having new ideas up my sleeve for this concert that I'm going to be doing in July at the BroadStage. That's going to be similar vibe, but completely different repertoire. I really pride myself in bringing new repertoire every time I sing. I don't want to repeat pieces. So
How
unless the
many
audience asks.
performances is the right amount to do per year? I mean, is there a right amount, or would you do
For
as
a
many?
singer,
Yeah.
you know what? I like to keep myself as busy as possible. So I would even be like in my dream career, I'd like to be doing maybe like five roles a year in an opera company, but also be doing like maybe like 6 to 7 concerts a year, and then take a break from like August, like just 1 month of a break, or
Mhm.
three weeks, because my teacher, I'm working right now in New York. I'm really honored to be able to work with Bill Schumann, who is a really, really, he's like the coach of coaches. He's like amazing. This man is
Tell me
like,
about him.
he's fabulous. He's like, and it's so weird because we have such a wonderful connection. I felt like I knew him for so long. And he works at AVA, which is American Vocal Academy of American Vocal Academy. So it's for opera singers, and that's like the most legit post grad program for opera singers, for young singers that they want to start a career. Like most of the big boy opera singers right now have gone through AVA, and most of them have worked with Bill Schumann.
Hmm.
So being able to work with someone of his knowledge and his wisdom and his career means so much to me, and he's just as good as everyone says. So I'm really happy about that. But yeah, I'm
Now, did you find him? You knew of him? It
I
sounds
knew
like,
of
and
him. Everybody in my in the opera world kind of knows of
knows
him.
him. Yeah.
In America, at least, I believe in the whole world, but especially in America, since he's based in here in New York. Um, but I knew of him actually. I was very grateful because a family friend of mine, that she has an operatic competition. She's close friends of his, and she noticed that all of the best singers from her competition are his students or went to AVA, which is this operatic academy that is based in Philadelphia. And she said, "Oh, why don't you? I think, if you want to work with someone in America, because obviously I can't go back to Italy that much right now and work with Barbara as I used to. So she said, oh, if you want to work with someone really good in the States, I can see if Bill would like to have an audition for you and like to work with you." And so I did in late January, and from February I started working pretty closely with him, and it was just fantastic. He brought my voice to like a whole nother level without physically putting his hands on my voice, which is amazing because a lot of coaches, they really want to like, I'm not going to get too much into the nitty gritty, but they really try to change your technique to like how they prefer. But
Hmm.
he, like, based on the singer he has in front of him, he gives them completely different advice. And that shows that he's a real master because he doesn't put all of his singers in a box. You know what I mean?
So he hears you, if I'm understanding you right.
Yeah,
He hears you and he determines and can pinpoint your strengths and weaknesses, and then rather
exactly.
than putting his own mold over you, uh, and trying to correct to match that, he's actually hearing you and bringing out those strengths and helping you with those areas that you need to work on specifically
Exactly.
to yourself. So he must have just an incredible ear.
Yes,
Um,
he really does.
and
And
what did he say about what he first heard from you? I mean, uh, what did he did he put it into words like what you have and who you are and what he
He
thought
said
he
that
could
I had a
work with?
he said that I had a very, which is true. It's very interesting because my mom is Iranian, so I am half Iranian. And he said that I have a Mediterranean style voice, which is like basically one of the best compliments you can get for an opera singer, because I mean,
Uh,
there's nothing better than Italian opera. So saying you have a Mediterranean style voice, but he was able to bring a lot of warmth into my voice that I didn't have. I've always had a very a strong, steely, like kind of like cut through the orchestra type voice, and he was able to round it out so it sounds a little bit more balanced, which is amazing because I mean in life it's like this. It's all about, I think everything, it's about balance, so I
mhm.
think being able to bring some more warmer tones into my voice is something that really made a huge difference, and I'm just really happy to be able to improve. And I feel like singing, like almost everything, it's always uphill. You're always going to learn something new until the day you die, and I feel like we're always going to be like eternal students. You can never not learn something new, especially if you love it. So it's just,
How exciting. Isn't
yeah,
that exciting for you?
yeah, it is.
Well, you've had a couple, more than one, maybe a few, uh, world-renowned, highly acclaimed voice coaches.
Yes.
One being Barbara Fatoli that you worked with in Italy and lived. You actually lived with her, if
No,
I
I didn't,
or
I didn't
near
live
her.
near her. No, I lived near her in the sense that I was living in Verona, and she lives in Milan, and
Okay,
that's like an hour and 10 minutes in the train. So I was easily accessible to her.
I
Yeah.
remembered it wrong, but
It's all right. No worries.
and then in the very beginning, you studied with vocal coach Kay Montgomery.
Yeah. Oh,
We,
she was my
first,
first
right?
first teacher at the Colburn School.
Okay, could you play a little game with me right now? Or just answer if you wouldn't mind humoring me.
Okay.
Kay Montgomery, what did she teach you? She was your first vocal coach. What do you think you learned? Like, you can just give me one thing you learned from her, and then one from Barbara Fatoli, and then one from Bill Schumann.
Okay.
How do they layer? How do they complement each other? How has your voice matured and grown with each one of these really great vocal coaches?
So I feel like Kay, I mean, I worked with her when I was like 10 years old. She was my very, 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 very first teacher. And I think the beauty of Kay's teaching is that she doesn't push your voice, and it's good for, like, she gave you like the basics. She gave me, I feel like what she taught me was like the foundation of my house. So she gave the best foundation ever. She taught me to love opera because I remember we used to even see operas with her, and also musical theater because I also learned musical theater with her. So she really was this nurturing figure of nurturing my voice and just paving the foundation and settling it so that it can just grow and get better.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how about Barbara?
And Barbara, I think Barbara is herself is the diva because she is so famous and she has an amazing career and she still has. And she was also very like a motherly figure to me, because she's just a wonderful human being. And she really taught me to sing how to sing like an Italian. Like
Okay.
she like bel canto. I worked on Don Giovanni, Don Elvira with her. I worked on her main role was Desdemona. One of her main, she has many main roles, but one of her main roles was Desdemona, or as in English we'll say Desdemona from Othello. And she really refined it, and I think she gave me the confidence. I think without Barbara, I wouldn't have been able, because I also worked with other teachers in Italy, but Barbara really refined me in a way that if I didn't work with her, probably I wouldn't have been be working with Bill right now, because she like refined me, and she saw like the how can I say, the potential I had.
Hmm.
So she just taught me how to sing like an Italian, and taught me how to sing like a real deal, like opera singer, you know?
So you found the right vocal coach for each stage in your progression as an artist, it sounds like.
100%. I feel, honestly, I feel so grateful, because all of these wonderful professionals and wonderful singers, because both Kay and Barbara, and Bill was a singer as well, but he got his fame as being a coach. But both Kay and Barbara, they had wonderful careers. I mean, Kay, she was singing Carlotta in Phantom of the Opera in the tour in Germany. So she had they both were fantastic singers and fantastic artists. And I am really, really, really grateful to say that I felt like everyone I worked with was like the right person at the right time. And they all brought so much good to me that without them, I wouldn't be the artist I am today.
How beautiful.
Yeah.
How great that it happened that way for you. And we are the lucky recipient of that hard work you've put in. How has returning to America influenced the way that you approach your craft
Mm.
as a singer? Has it added or changed anything? Any nuance, any um, texture that it's changed and shaped you a little differently, or the way you perform?
Mm. I think, I mean, Italy has given me so much as a singer, because Italy is like the birthplace of opera. So I feel like coming back to America, I, I love the reception from the audience, and I love how open-minded people are to opera here. And I think that I really got a good mix, because I feel like I do sing in a more traditional Italian type way. So I feel like people appreciate me more for my Italian training that I had in America. I mean, people appreciated me in Italy, but I feel like Americans, like, we kind of appreciate it more, because a lot of singers, they'd go to Manhattan School of Music, or they'd go to, many of the American universities, or Juilliard. Or saying it because I'm in New York, but um, I feel like, and we kind of don't remember that, in Italy, opera has so much tradition and has so much importance. So I feel like I like to kind of feel like I'm almost like a ambassador for Italian style singing and Italian opera. And I feel like America has really been open and open-minded and really warm to me about that. And I think just singing here is such a pleasure, because the audience in America, they give back so much more than you expect, and
Mhm.
it's so wonderful. Like when you have a warm audience that they really clap and they really enjoy, and even people that they haven't like heard opera for the first time, like in the end of May, on May 24th, I had a community concert for Beverly Hills community, where I sang with a couple of opera pieces, but some also American classics with a jazz band. And there were people that came up to me. They said, "Oh, I've never heard opera before, but because of you, I'm really interested in listening to more of it." And that,
So great.
it's so humbling and it's so wonderful. I'm like, yes, it's like, let me be your gateway drug to opera, 100%, you know?
Well, that's you set me up perfectly for my final question of this segment. Last time that we spoke, you told me that your goal is to make opera accessible for everyone.
Yes.
How have you made progress on that goal this year?
I mean, 100%, because the concert that I just mentioned that I did in Beverly Hills, it was free. So you could, and it was in a park, so you could just walk in and enjoy and sit there. And then also the prices for most of the prices for the concerts are reduced compared to other. When you look at other performances in the opera world, they're much, the tickets are much less expensive.
Mhm.
And also, I'm very happy, because I don't, like you saw, I don't sing only opera in my shows. I sing also musical theater, and maybe some I dare say popra. I don't want to offend the opera aficionados there, because, oh, God forbid she sings popra, but I do sing some popra. And I think it's fun, and I think it's something that would bring a lot of people together. And I also think that me being like I'm 26, so I think me being a young adult, I think you don't see a lot of younger adults, like people under 30, or especially under 35 in the on the opera stages or in that type of, um realm. So I think it's something to show that, opera is not just for um someone of a certain echelon or elite person of a certain age. It could be, it's like rock
Hmm.
music or pop music. It could be for anyone. So it just, I think just freshening it up, maybe wearing some I don't know, particular fashion or something like that, it can make it more fun.
Well, opera has survived how many years? Thousands of years, hundreds of years,
Hundreds of years,
hundreds
yeah.
of years. It's
Dare
survived.
say thousands. Yes, you're
So
right.
there have been, uh, logically, it would seem to be that there have been performers that have carried it and continued through those many years to stick to keep it current, to keep it alive.
Yes,
Artists like you yourself. So you are that person for our age and our generation to continue
I
it,
hope.
right?
I really
That's,
try to. I that's my dream. That's
you,
that's basically
well,
it.
I
Yeah.
think you're well on your way for that, for
Thank you.
sure. So we're going to take a real quick break here and we're going to listen to Mattinata. I said I was going to do it more
It was good. It
intelligent.
was fantastic.
Mattinata.
Mattinata.
Mattinata is, and now I looked up the story in the background and you know it, I'm sure. But is Mattinata, does it mean sunrise? Do I have that pronunciation
It
in
means
Italian?
morning.
Morning. Okay.
Morning.
Beautiful.
Because
It's beautiful.
mattina in Italian means the morning. So it's like kind of like the morning time.
Do you want to explain the song in general
It's a
in the
sweet
background?
kind of like love song, and it's by Leoncavallo. It's like it's not really from an opera. It's kind of like an art song. And the thing about this piece is that, rest his soul, wonderful singer, Pavarotti made it famous. And
Hmm.
everyone knows Pavarotti's version. So I tried to make kind of like more of a female rendition of it that is not sung a lot by women, but it's just a beautiful song about waking up and being in love and the nature. And it's lovely.
Golda Zara kicks off her dynamic four-concert summer series throughout Los Angeles on June 13th at the St. Monica Catholic Church, the Angelic Voice Concert. Acclaimed rising star soprano Golda Zara with Dream Orchestra under the baton of Daniel Suck, the Opera Chorus of Los Angeles, to benefit the ministry of St. Monica Catholic Church in support of their continued response to the LA fires. It's on 725 California Avenue in Santa Monica, California. It's at 7:30 p.m. For further information and tickets, go to angelicvoice.com. On July 12th, Golda Zahra in concert at the BroadStage Santa Monica. Beautiful, beautiful theater. And on August 16th, Walt Disney Concert Hall, Golda performs the role of Leu in Puccini's Turandot with the Dream Orchestra, Daniel Suck, conductor. August 16th, that's at 7 p.m., again at the Walt Disney Concert Hall. The Opera Chorus of Los Angeles and the Los Angeles Dream Orchestra. Tickets will go on sale from June 15th, so mark your calendars and don't forget to get your tickets to one or all three. What a great way to spend your summer. We'll be right back with Golda Zahra, and here is Mattinata.